Welcome back to Absolutely. My name is Benny, that is Sal, and that is Dylan, and this week we're going to be talking about Miss Marvel Episode 4. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come out and say it. This is definitively proven to me that they don't know what they're doing at Disney+. Okay, as a whole. I still think Miss Marvel's great as a character. I love the supporting cast. I love the cinematography. I love everything about this show, except the fact it is a Disney Plus show. So after watching Obi-Wan Kenobi, watching Miss Marvel, watching Moon Knight, across the board, they keep making 3-hour movies and stretching them out to a 6-hour movie for a show's sake. And this episode of Miss Marvel, you can watch 10 minutes of it to get the plot beats. Everything else is skippable. It's all just developing her world.
The problem is it's the same as last week. There's cats making noise. We end in the same spot this week that we did last week.
Yeah, which is a problem we had on Moon Knight. I think 2 episodes, the way that episode started and ended was we could have skipped the episode.
Yeah. I mean, well, you look at Obi-Wan, they did the same plot twice in the same 6-hour show.
Leia gets kidnapped twice.
Yeah.
All right. We don't need that.
Right? We get it, and it doesn't need to be 6 episodes except to fill the slot, right? That's the idea. I like this episode a lot. I didn't really notice it as being any particular problem, but I do recognize that, at the end of this episode, we're in the same place plot-wise.
Yeah,
we're in a new location at least. We're in a new location at the beginning of this episode. We're in a new location at the end of this episode. There's, we didn't go to Pakistan before. We're in here now, and then we go to this new location in the past, presumably.
Yeah.
So that's new and developing, and I could tell that they're trying to display and deepen Ms. Marvel's world, and I think they're doing it better than previous attempts. The way that we can easily, because you're right. The Disney Plus model is just take the movie ideas, take the slate we had 4 years ago and extend it artificially and unsatisfactorily.
Right, and I want to clarify again, I am really enjoying this show, and I loved this episode. One of the highlights for me in this episode was the fact that they went back to the home country, and the music all matched up, and the artwork all matched up, and the cinematography all matched up. There's a lot in this episode that I enjoyed, and I don't want everyone to feel that I'm talking about, this episode is terrible. What I'm saying is, this episode to me felt
with, in general, Disney Plus shows, which is very fair.
Because it's a repeating problem, in my opinion. It continually happens. First 2 episodes of WandaVision, we could drop it. There's the infamous Loki walking across the planet and no plot developments happening
3.
that could be cut. Every one of these shows has a cuttable episode.
Yeah. I think that's what's so disappointing about this one to me. And I think, Benny, you took it harder than obviously Sal did, and I think harder than I did too. But it's disappointing, especially for this show, which for 3 episodes has been so jam-packed and such well scripted television. That when we get to episode 4 and there's really nothing happening aside from Kamala walking around Pakistan, nothing happens.
She meets the Red Scarf people and
she meets Red Dagger, sure.
But it's she meets them. She met the clandestines earlier. She meets.
That's it. It's 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes of this episode is needed.
Unlike the other issues that I've had with previous Disney Plus shows that do this, at the very least, it didn't feel like it was just we have to do 6. Let's make this 4th one. I felt like this was made with care, as much care as the last 3 episodes. I think that this felt like another episode of the show. It just it didn't advance the plot.
They didn't have as much to say in this one as they did in the other ones.
Right, but how many seasons of shows have not done that either? I mean, the fact is TV shows are meant to not advance the plot, but
I just feel like my problem with this is we're so used to TV shows having 20 to 24 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you're going to come up with an arbitrary number for Disney Plus,
why 6?
Yeah, 6
why 6? Why do they all need 6? Because I'd say a quarter to a third of this episode is actually important to the plot. My only actual complaint with the episode, I have one actual complaint. And I loved the actresses who played the mom and the grandmother.
Oh, yeah.
They were great.
But it just felt weird to me because of the thick accents and the fact that it's quite obvious. I don't think that they're like American actresses naturally. Like they probably do a lot more stuff over in Pakistan and stuff like that. It was just the only thing that it's a nitpick. I will say it, but it just felt weird that they would be talking so fluently in English to each other instead of just their native language. Like I felt like that's where they would have gone.
Yeah, I think they did a better job than most with that. Like I think that they blended it where they'd occasionally slip into their native language, but then they switch over to English. I mean, it's hard to learn the language. I think they're, in their own way, they're also like kind of practicing it in the context of the show. But I don't know.
I think I would have liked subtitles when it was like two characters who obviously wouldn't naturally speak English in Pakistan. Like to Kamala made sense, and I know, like I said, it's a nitpick, and I know it is. But the show's quality is so high. That's the kind of thing I would expect from them. To be like,
and
okay,
they do it most of the time. Like it's just that in this, I had no complaint. I actually really enjoyed this episode, like from beginning to end. I've seen some other Marvel movies and projects where I'm like, this action sequence is not necessary. Like, I'd rather have characters sit down and talk to each other. This one, I was like, this is fun. Like, I had no complaints about anything that happened in this. It was a good balance, yeah. And like you said, does it advance the plot? Not really. I mean, like,
but
in its own way,
again,
it does.
but
I know that depends on what's the plot. Like, what is the plot? Is the plot in service to her becoming Ms. Marvel?
I do want to clarify, just because I know how our chat is and our comments are. I did like the episode. I'm not sitting on it. Like, of all the filler episodes we have gotten, this is the one that I'm like, this isn't terrible.
Yeah.
But it was just an obvious thing to me of like, why? Make it a 5-episode series.
I think the main thing to take away, like I said earlier, is that this show has been like top tier episodes, and now we get one that's like, slightly worse. That still makes it great. Like, this is still a very fun episode. Like, I think like my main issue with it, aside from like, it not being as jam packed as the other ones and not moving as quickly and being as tight as the other ones, is just, like, the Red Dagger stuff seems like there should have been more time given to that. Like, in an episode that's like devoid of stuff happening, like that's what you have happen. Like, lead up to that more. Make it more relevant, more important. Like all this stuff with like, this is the dimension that you're from is just like skirted aside and moved past really quickly. And I'm like, wait, no.
Weird.
Bring that map back up. Like, I want to know. Like, what to explain? What do you mean?
I did find that a bit weird that Miss Marvel's like, and the grandmother's like, yeah, you're a Jinn. And even Miss Marvel's like, wait, that's not weird. We're just going to skirt past this?
She also said she isn't. Like not the grandma, like one of the Red Daggers, the main Red Dagger guy was like, well, no, you're not. I was like, okay, move past that, I guess. What? Huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said. I said they're going to make it in the end. She's not going to be. They're all just lying to her to get her to go through the Karachi portal. So
I'm okay with that. I like them being like, nah. Like, I like them not wasting time.
Explanation after that.
Right. Like, I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, this is fine. Like, I was just enjoying it. I like to watch the Iman Vellani like do her thing. She's really fun, and like,
it's true.
I'm just enjoying the journey. I'm just like, this is fine. Like,
I really like the show. I really like that they aren't like placating and like throwing in stuff that we feel we need for an MCU show. I really do enjoy the fact that it because one of the things
went to Avengers Con. We had the big
we had
reference point.
But one thing that I'm really enjoying is because I'm a person who really enjoys other cultures, learning other cultures and stuff like that. And one of the things that for me, Ms. Marvel was great about is they explored other cultures, and I like that the show is keeping to that kind of a route. We're not just going, oh no, she's Pakistani, she's Muslim, blah 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 blah. But we're in Jersey, so she's going over here.
Right.
She's
right. Well, we'll do that later. Like, we'll do that in the Marvels. We'll do that in everything else that she'll be in. Like, the Disney cruises. Did you guys see the videos from that?
I was going to say, did you guys see the Ant-Man video? We got to talk about that for 2 seconds.
No. I did see the Ant-Man video, yeah.
Ant-Man confirms he's arguing. Well, he's like, okay, I see what you're all talking about. You all wanted me to shrink down and jump up Thanos' thing. There's reasons why we didn't do that.
Yeah. First of all, gross. But also, there's like a whole like fight sequence that they shot for this Disney cruise, which has Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, Ant-Man, Wasp, Captain America. And it's like,
what a weird collection of heroes.
They're like, this is the Avengers.
No.
Well, according to Disney Cruises, it is.
These are the seafaring Avengers.
Well, and it's really weird to see Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, on the Avengers in full costume when she hasn't in canon in the show gotten it yet.
Yeah.
We sort of got it. If you look at her from behind in like wide shots in this
Right, it
episode, she
kind
looks
of
like
is,
Miss
yeah.
Marvel.
That's right. That's right.
I am getting a little irritated with across the board this new MCU directive of like the costume is at the end.
Right.
I don't care. I mean,
I'm
to be
not
fair, we got
interested.
it episode 2 of Moon Knight.
Yeah.
We didn't see it that much, but we got it early in Moon Knight.
Yeah, we got it early. Yeah, that's because for a full year he was Moon Knight, and we didn't get to see any of it.
That's true because he was already Moon Knight. That's a good point.
yeah.
I've stopped caring since Daredevil season 1. Like I don't
Right.
like people were so upset about the costume in that, and I was
I
like,
like
I don't
the
know.
costume
The
in
show's
Daredevil. I had no problem with
yeah, it looks great regardless. It's already a costume from the comics. It's just not the one you happen to like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the show is so good regardless of that. So it's like I don't care. Like I don't. The story hasn't called for her to have a full costume yet.
That's true.
So
No, I
I don't.
haven't-
I don't mind.
They even
that she
made a
doesn't.
comment about her putting the mask on finally. Red Dagger
Yeah.
made a comment about it. Like a glasses or dagger or mask, I can still see it's you or something like that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mask isn't doing it. She's still. That's when she put it on. I was like, you're still wearing jeans and a New Jersey T-shirt.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
knows who you are, regardless if you have a mask on.
No, it's true.
I mean, overall, there's not much really happened in this episode, but it was a
No.
solid episode. It was. It's just we're at this weird place with Disney Plus where they don't seem to know how they
What?
want to handle their shows.
Yeah.
What's going on with damage control? Why do they have a facility? Why do they have a Supermax prison all of a
Their
sudden?
Shield, they just took over. They're just whatever Shield had, damage control now runs. That's
I
it.
wish they would explain that. I wish they
They
would
won't.
just say that.
They're never going to do that.
So
They're never going to
frustrating.
do that because we're in the mega lazy yet
Yep.
also super desperate for content period of Disney, Marvel, and the MCU.
At this point, we went off on a wild and crazy tangent. So,
But episode
Miss
4 is-
Marvel,
it's still good.
We all, huh?
It's still good.
Is
It's
it-
still a good show.
Yeah. Yeah, Miss Marvel was
true.
great. We all enjoyed it. We'll be reviewing it next week for episode 5. You'll probably have Hussid filling in for one of us. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and check back next week for the next episode of Miss Marvel.